Everybody out here thinks smart people just got more stuff in their heads, more facts, more answers, like they just walking around loaded with everything. But nah, that's not how it really goes down. The real difference ain't about what they know. It's about how they think, how they look at problems, how they deal with situations that got everybody else stressing out. You don't need some perfect memory or straight A's to be smart. That's not the move. You just gotta think the way smart people think. So check this out. Today, I'm about to break down 5 simple ways smart people use their brains a little different. And here's the wild part. They're not even hard to pick up, but somehow most folks never catch on. And if you start moving like this, you gonna feel it quick, like almost right away. People gonna start coming to you for advice. Problems ain't gonna hit you as heavy. And suddenly, it's like you got a grip on everything instead of the other way around. So yeah, let's not waste time. Let's get into it. First up, they don't fight to be.
They don't argue just to prove they're right. But here's where most people get it twisted, like completely wrong. The second someone disagrees with them, it turns into this full-on battle mode. Voices get louder, tempers flare, and suddenly it's not even about the point anymore. It's about winning, about proving the other person's clueless. But smart people, nah, they don't play it like that. They flip the whole script. Instead of throwing punches, they lean in and start asking questions, real ones, not those slick little trap questions meant to make someone look dumb. They'll hit you with something like, "Help me understand why you see it that way," or "What happened that made you feel like that?" And the wild part, they're not even trying to win the argument. They're trying to understand it. And here's where it gets crazy. When you stop fighting and start asking, people actually listen, like for real. They don't get all defensive and shut down. They open up. That's when things shift. That's when conversations actually mean something, when perspectives start to move. Smart people already know this. It's kind of their secret weapon. You can't force somebody to agree with you, not really, but you can guide them into thinking deeper about what they believe. And when that happens, a lot of times they end up changing their own mind without you ever having to push. And just when you think that's the whole game, nah, there's more. Because number 2, that's where they start seeing the bit. They use silence wisely. And then there's number 4, and this one right here, it catches people off guard. They use quiet like it's a tool. See, most folks can't stand silence. The second a conversation goes quiet, they rush to fill that gap, blurting out whatever comes to mind, talking just to keep noise in the air. But smart people, they don't panic in those moments. They sit in it, calm, steady. They think before they speak. They listen way more than they talk, really letting people finish what they're saying instead of cutting in. And here's the part most people don't even realize. Silence actually makes people lean in. When you pause before answering, it builds this tension, like your words are about to matter. When you listen without interrupting, people feel that. They feel heard, respected. And because of that, quiet people often come off smarter than the loud ones. Not because they've got more knowledge, but because every word they say is chosen, deliberate, nothing wasted. Try it yourself next time. It's simple, but it hits different. Somebody asks you something. Don't jump in right away. Count to 3. Just sit in that beat for a second. You'll notice it almost instantly. Your answers come out sharper, clearer, like you actually meant every word you said. They think before they react. And then it hits you, number 5. And honestly, this might be the one that changes everything. They pause instead of reacting. Because most people, they react instantly. No filter, no space in between. Somebody cuts them off in traffic, they're mad in a second. Someone throws a rude comment their way, they snap right back. Something doesn't go how they planned, and it's straight to complaining or just giving up. But smart people move different. They create space. When something throws them off, they don't jump. They pause, take a breath, and in that tiny moment, everything shifts. They ask themselves, is this even worth my energy? What's the smartest way to handle this? And when someone comes at them sideways, they don't just fire back. They think deeper, like, maybe this person's dealing with something. How do I respond in a way that actually helps? And don't get it twisted. That's not weakness. That's control. Because the one who stays calm while everyone else is losing it, that's the one with real power. The one who thinks while others just react, that's the one making better moves every time. And when you step back and look at all of this together, it starts to click. You don't have to be the loudest voice in the room. You don't have to know everything. You don't need perfect grades or some elite background. The shift is simpler than that, but way deeper. You just have to think differently. Ask instead of argue. Look for patterns instead of panicking over one bad moment. Lock in on what you can control and let the rest go. Get comfortable with silence and give yourself that pause before you respond to anything. Most people won't do this. They'll stay stuck arguing, stressing, reacting to every little thing. But if you actually practice these 5 habits, something starts to change, and it's not subtle. You begin to see solutions where everybody else just sees problems. You stay steady when everyone else is overwhelmed. Your decisions get sharper because now you're thinking, not just reacting. And people notice. They start coming to you, asking how you stay so calm under pressure, how you seem to always have it together. And the best part? None of this is something you had to be born with. You don't need to be special. You just need awareness, intention, that willingness to slow down and choose your response instead of letting the moment choose it for you. That's what real intelligence looks like. Not flashy, not loud, but controlled, deliberate, built over time. And now you see the blueprint. So here's the move. Don't try to flip your whole life overnight. That's where most people mess up. Just pick one habit, just one. Maybe you start with pausing before you react, or maybe you lean into asking questions instead of arguing. Whatever it is, lock in on it for the next week. Really give it your focus. And if you want something to keep you on track, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, because this right here, this is what I do every week, breaking things down so you can think clearer, move smarter, handle whatever life throws at you without losing your center. When you tap in, you're not just watching, you're stepping into a space with people who actually want to grow, who want to think different. And if this hit you, if something clicked, drop a like so more people can find it too. Then slide down into the comments and tell me which one of these 5 are you starting with. I read every single one, and seeing that progress, that's the real payoff. Just remember, you don't need to change everything at once. One shift, one habit, one decision at a time. That's how it builds. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. They step back and look at the bigger picture, and this is where it really flips. Most people get stuck zoomed all the way in on the smallest problems, like they're staring at one bad moment and calling it their whole life. They fail a test, and boom, now they think they're stupid. Someone tells them no, and suddenly it's like they're not worth anything. One bad day hits, and it feels like everything's crashing down. But smart people, they don't stay stuck in that close-up. They pull back, like a camera zooming out, and suddenly the whole frame changes. It's not just one bad test anymore, it's a pattern. Maybe they need to switch up how they study. Maybe they're running on no sleep. Maybe they just need help with math. And rejection, they don't take it as proof they're not good enough. They treat it like data. Like, okay, what does this tell me? What can I learn? What do I try next? When you zoom out like that, problems stop feeling like dead ends and start looking like puzzles. And puzzles, those can be figured out. So they ask themselves the real questions. What's actually going on here? What do I have control over? What's my next move? No panic, no spiraling. They plan. And just when you think that mindset couldn't get any sharper, number 3 comes in and hits different. They only stress over what they can actually change. And this one is huge because most people burn all their energy worrying about stuff that's completely out of their hands. What their friends think, whether it's going to rain tomorrow, if their boss woke up in a bad mood, or some random thing that might go wrong next week. And all that worrying, it doesn't fix a thing. It just drains them, leaves them tired and on edge. But smart people move different. They got this simple rule locked in. If I can't control it, I'm not wasting my time on it. Instead, they lock in on what they can control. Can't control the rain, but yeah, you can bring an umbrella. Can't control people's opinions, but you can control how you show up, how kind and real you are. Can't control whether you land the job, but you can control how prepared you are walking into that interview. That shift right there saves them a crazy amount of energy. Energy they can actually use to fix things, to move forward, to make stuff better. And once you stop stressing over everything, you finally start fixing the things that actually matter. And just when you think you've seen the whole playbook, nah, there's still more, because number 4, that's where it gets even deeper.